Hello everyone, and welcome to Horror and Heroes. Tonight, we're going to do a deep dive to one of my favorite of all-time franchises, A Nightmare on Elm Street, created by the master of horror, Wes Craven. Grab yourself a cup of coffee. And don't fall asleep. Now, this isn't going to be your typical movie guide, meaning it's not just only going to go through the main series. I've done a lot of research on this, and I have found quite a few things that definitely add to the mythos and seem to add a little bit more flavor to the main story. So I've included fan films from YouTube. I've included comic book series that expand on some of the storylines that were told within the main series. So it's definitely going to be a bit more in-depth than just your main series. So I really hope that you enjoy this Nightmare on Elm Street Ultimate Watch List as much as I enjoyed actually making this for you guys. So in the words of White Zombie, perhaps you better start. So I'm going to begin my watch list and set it up in a timeline form, meaning I'm going to start off with the birth of Amanda Kruger, the woman who started it all. Now, it's been said that she was born in 1907, and you can find this when you watch through a number of Nightmare on Elm Street films that will actually reference this. And not much is known from the point of her birth to when she joined the Sisterhood. What we do know is in 1940, she had taken a job at an asylum, and she was a nun. Her name was Sister Mary Helena. The name of this asylum was called Our Lady of Sorrows, and held some of the most vile, most insane of Springwood. The holidays had rolled around, and during a head count, I guess the guards missed her and accidentally locked her inside this mental institution. Over 100 inmates were there and had raped her, and she had become pregnant. Now, not long after this whole scenario went down, they had actually closed the facility and had condemned that part where this rape occurred. And it wasn't long after that they had reopened the facility under a different name. The name was Weston Hills. And it was here, in the basement of Weston Hills, where Frederick Charles Kruger was born.
Time for me to go get the other.
Kids. So impressionable. So let's continue my story, shall we? I was born a bleached baby in this asylum. Damn near tore my mother in half. I was thrown into the system and adopted by a man named Mr. Underwood. He was a janitor, and he was an abusive drunk who, when he'd get good and loaded, he'd come down to the basement, chain me up, and beat me. He would use his razors. He would cut me. And in time, I learned to embrace this pain, to harness it, to enjoy it, and to inflict it, which I did. I set him ablaze in his own house. Something I confess to. You can watch this confession. Your film on YouTube called The Confessions of Fred Krueger. After I gained my freedom, I traveled for a while and finally settled in the town of Springwood. I had a family, a child named Catherine Krueger. I was very, very proud. And this gave me the perfect cover to hide my true identity as the Springwood Slasher. From 1961 to 1965, I rained terror down on the children and parents of Springwood. Must have killed over 20 kids. No one knew the wiser. Till one day, my little bitch of a wife got a little nosy. I had to kill her. I strangled her in front of my own daughter. I made my daughter promise never to tell. But did she listen? Oh no. Because the cops came calling. I was arrested. And they charged me with over 20 counts of murder of children. They took my daughter away from me and put her in foster care, where she was adopted by the Burroughs family, who changed her name to Maggie and sealed her records and disappeared from Springwood. Oh yes, I was angry. I was angry for being in this cell, waiting for my fate, knowing that my daughter has been taken from me against my will, and I would have my revenge. In 1968, my trial came. The townspeople were in an uproar, hoping to see me get the chair. But you see, in the police haste for wanting to catch their killer, the paperwork wasn't quite filed correctly. The search warrant was bad. And they had to set me free. As soon as I left the courthouse, I hopped in my car and went back to my bedroom. Plan my revenge. And as I sat and contemplated, I could hear noises. A riot. The glass shattered. Gas and fire poured in, and I was set ablaze. And they were chanting, from the parents of Springwood as they watched me burn, hoping that it would be the last that they would see of me. But it wasn't. And if you'd like to see this all play out in graphic detail, you can see this through a fan-made film named Krueger, Tales from Elm Street, the supercut.
From the fire, I rose, born anew, stuff of nightmares. Oh, the fun I would have. The first order of business. As I went after my mother haunted her dreams. Some say she hung herself. That was the case. It was all me. They never found the body. I rolled her up in the very tower where I was conceived. I struck fear in the children of Elm Street. A rhyme grew. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7, 8, better stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again. Eventually, I made it back to my own house to find the Thompsons. There, I would go after their child, Nancy. This was the beginning of a nightmare on Elm Street. Oh, poor Nancy. In the end, I took her friends, burned her mother in her own bed, turned her father into a complete alcoholic, and sent Nancy to the nut house. She may have thought that she had beaten me, but you just can't keep me down. It only took 5 years for me to regain enough power to return. And I did. Had so much power, I possessed a young boy named Jesse. Made him do my bidding. I invaded the real world. All my awe and power. My revenge. Nightmare on Elm Street. Part 2. The brat and his little girlfriend may have beat me with love. was all right. It gave me a chance to check in on Nancy and see what she was doing. You could see what happened to her in this movie called Don't Fall Asleep. Welcome to 1987. Drugs, sex, rock and roll, and death by dreaming. Nancy arrives at Weston Hills. Just in time to watch me kill a bunch of little piggies. Oh, what fun I had. Wait till you see me put this chick's head into a TV. Welcome to prime time. The Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. The Dream Warrior. Well, they may have got me, but I finally got that bitch Nancy. Yeah, they moved on. They got comfortable. They forgot. But I made them remember. I returned for the remaining Dream Warriors and made short work of them. As only I could. But as I did, a new player emerged. Every time I'd kill a brat, this bitch would inherit their power. How the hell was I supposed to deal with that? Well, I certainly gave it the old college try. In this Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. That Dream Warrior bitch Alice may have beat me in the last one. But I got some new tricks up my sleeve. Why go through her mind when I could go through her child's? In this, The Nightmare on Elm Street 5, Dream Child. Now, if you care to see what happens to Alice, you can check these comic books out. It's a 6-issue series made by Innovation entitled A Nightmare on Elm Street. During and after Alice's little tete-a-tete in the comic books, I reigned for 8 years. That's right, from 1990 all the way to 98. I took all of Springwood's children. And now, there was just one more that I needed. My daughter back. And I would do anything to get her. But Will I succeed? Judging from the title, I would take it maybe I did. This, Freddy's Dead, the final nightmare. Yeah, I know. So they sent me to hell. Shit happens. Yeah, they even forgot about me. Sent anyone who even thought of me to Weston Hills and put them on this hypnosil. Wiped my name, my legacy, from the town. And just moved along as if I never existed. Oh, man. It was rough. For 4 years this went on. And I could do nothing but sit and watch. Because no one remembered. No one believed. I had to make them believe. I had to get creative about it. So I sat and thought to myself, who could be so terrifying? Have such a legacy? Such je ne sais quoi with murder? Yes, who indeed? Why, the Crystal Lake Killer, of course. Old Maggothead himself, Jason Voorhees. You know, for a big strapping dead thing, he sure has a weak mind. Always has to do what Mommy tells him to do. So I used that against him. Mommy said, go get the kids of Elm Street. They've been very bad on Elm Street. And that dumb lug went and did it. The only problem was, he just wouldn't stop. This is bad. But he did give me enough power to get into the minds of my children. And in the end, they came crying to me to send old Maggothead down the river. So check this out. Freddy versus Jason. And see the carnage happen. Well, I guess we could call it a stalemate. I still think I came out ahead. But this wouldn't be the only time me and Maggothead would meet. Oh no. If you want to see more action with that chainsaw-handed, crazy son of a bitch Ash involved, you need look no further than these comics. Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, 1 through 6. Then Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, Nightmare Warriors, 1 through 6. guess you could say that concludes my time in the movie realm. Maybe the comic realm. So where can I go from here, you ask? Well, I'm coming to your world next. In Wes Craven's A New Nightmare. That's right. That's right. It's only a movie. Now, I'm real. I go after Heather Langenkamp's kid. Villain. Who will survive? Will the movies repeat themselves, perhaps? Stick around and find out. You believe that craziness? Tried to lock me up in a story. Well, it may have worked. For about 20 years. Or so. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, went nuts. For real this time. And that left me one little piggy. Dylan. Here I come, Dylan. In Dylan's new nightmare.
Daddy, I have a surprise for you.
What is it, dear?
Look, I got the best memory, Daddy.
Chip off the old block, eh?
The nightmare never ends.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. I sure did. So this concludes Ultimate Nightmare on Elm Street Watchlist.